So when it comes to leafy greens, they have very similar needs to other vegetables because they need moisture and they need air circulation, but they tend to come in different forms, so they can be a little different to store. So if you've got one of these like prefab bags of greens, like if it's sealed, it's done. It's ready to go, right? You don't need to do anything with it. You do need to pay attention to the expiration date on these though, because after they've been sitting around for a while, you'll notice they'll get really slimy at the bottom. It's actually fine to eat the rest of the vegetables that aren't slimy, but you don't want a slimy bag of veggies. So when I buy these, I always I look and I inspect and make sure there's no like pre-slimy veggies when I buy it. And I also look at the expiration date and make sure that it's not like tomorrow or 2 days from now. I try to buy them with dates as far off in the future as I can, and it will greatly prolong the life of your salad greens. Once you open these guys, they're really easy to store. You have this bag. Generally, you want to open it completely like this because it's easier to get them in and out. And then you want to seal them, but you don't want to tie them in a knot, basically. So we're just going to twist this like this. And we're going to take a little clip and we're going to clip it. Now it's mostly sealed, but there's still, you can see the air, when I squeeze it, the air comes out. There's still a little bit of air circulation. And you want to leave a little bit of air in these. The more air that's in here, the less likely they are to get weird and stuck to the bottom. Plus, if you smash these bags, the more the greens come in contact with the plastic, the more likely they are to slime, because wherever the leaf touches the plastic, there's zero air circulation. The moisture cannot leave the leaf, and that's why they get slimy. That's why the ones on the bottom get slimy, because they've been kind of smushed down. So when you have a bag like this, you want to kind of fluff them up a little bit and make sure none of them are smashed. And it's actually better to store them on their side like this instead of upright, because otherwise the ones on the bottom get smushed, and those guys always get slimy and they get super gross. So sometimes you can buy greens in a bucket like this, right? These little plastic containers, and these are actually fine just the way they are. You pop them open and you've got greens, and you close them, and they're sealed, but they're not there's airflow can still move around them. But what I like to do is, when they're totally sealed, is I just pop open a little corner, just like that. So it's sealed all the way around here, and then it's got a little space right here, because you can see here, there's moisture on the inside, which is great because these leaves need moisture to stay fresh. But if that moisture just stays there and there's no air circulation, these vegetables, these leaves they'll get slimy and get a little weird. So that's why I, seal them up and then just leave a little corner. It's not open, it's literally just not sealed in that one spot. And that little bit of air circulation is really helpful with extending the life of these leaves. Now, if you have your own chopped veggies, or maybe they didn't come in a container like that, what you end up with veggies like this. This is chopped chard, and we have a bag here. It's got more chard in it, and it's really simple. You're basically just storing it like these guys. So we're going to put our chard in the bag, and it goes, and then we're just going to loosely seal it like we did a lot of the other veggies. Leave a little bit of air in there. Give it one loose twist, and then turn it upside down, or you can twist it with a twist tie loosely. That's fine. One important thing to know about leafy greens is they don't need added moisture usually, right? So like I said, with the carrots and with other vegetables, you need to take that damp paper towel to really provide moisture, because those vegetables really suck moisture up. Leaves themselves, since they grow above ground, they tend to be pretty moisture rich, right? Because these are actually pulling, in nature, they're pulling their moisture from the roots, right? So there's a lot of moisture in leaves. They don't dry out quite as quickly. So adding extra moisture to this or this or this will actually cause them to mold really quickly. Now, say you have a bunch of chard, right? And chard is big, right? How do you store that big bunch? So basically, it's really easy. What you do is you take this bag and you put it in stem first, right? I don't know if you've ever tried to cram a big bunch of leafy greens, leaves first, into a bag. The leaves get all bent and broken, and it's just a whole world of hurt for those leaves. So you put them in stem side first, and then they'll usually stick about up to here. And then what I do is I take a second bag, wrap them over the top. Don't seal it. There's just literally one bag on the bottom covering the bottom, and another bag on the top coming to about here. And then just the air circulation is natural between the two bags because there's no seal. There's just a slight overlap, and air is able to circulate really easily.